All right, UFC Kansas City, and man, the troublemaker's in the room with me. You know what I mean? The guy that the biggest pot stirrer that I know in the UFC is sitting next to me. Ian Garry, let's talk about this first of all because we've seen the pranks with Jeff Neal, we've seen the D-Rod incident. Is there mysteriously going to be a carton of cigarettes outside of Carlos Prates' room the night before the
I
fight?
don't know. I'm not against sending him a load of whiskey and drink and fucking. I don't know. You could throw strippers the whole lot into it if you wanted. I'm not against that. Like, he wants to have a good night before the fight. Let's see. But I don't think I need any help. So on Saturday night, I'm gonna take advantage of him by just beating the bollocks out of him, and then he can go and satisfy himself in whatever way he needs to.
I want to bring this up because there was a member of his team that I talked to last week, John Silva, and he told me something about the way that fighters' career arcs go sometimes. And he says to me, he says, first they hate you because they don't understand you, and then they respect you, and then all of a sudden they love you. As far as the fan cycle goes, you
Yes,
know what I
yes.
mean? And I feel like there's a little bit of a relatable arc there with Mr. Ian Garry. I've seen it from the beginning. How long we've been doing interviews now? A couple years
Four
now, right? A
years.
couple years
4
now.
years.
And you've always been cordial with me, and I respect
Always.
that, brother. But it's very interesting how that works, isn't it?
Well, I think that's other people listening to bullshit online and making first assumptions and whatnot. The truth is, you've seen the me. You've seen the character I am. You see the way I am with my family, my friends, my team, anyone that walks by me. I am the way I am. If you want to fucking fight me, I'll fight on the spot. If you want to be a dick, I'll be a dick back. That's the way it is. But I'm nothing but respectful to people, and I carry myself the way I am, the way I do, and I'm very proud of it.
And then as far as the fight this week, like I said, you're the pot stirrer. You're a little bit of a master of deception. You know what I mean? Like you're
That's a good one.
you're going like this. You're going, Carlos Prates, I'm going to knock you out. I'm telling you to this camera. I'm telling you to your face, I'm going to knock you out. But then you're walking around with Damian Maya all week, right? So the deception's there. And I've asked him about it. I said, what do you make of all this? And he said, he could have whoever in his corner. He can say whatever it wants. It doesn't matter. But I have to respect the mental games that you play with all these
Yeah.
fighters.
I train with Damian Maya because Damian Maya is the best grappler in MMA history. That's for me to be the best. If you want to be the best, you got to learn from the best. I've been training with that man for a while now, and I love it. And I don't want to fight where he's not by my side. But I promise you now, I want to knock this guy out. I want to beat him where he's best, and I don't want him to have any excuses. So, regardless of who's in my corner, look, I fought with no one in my corner before, and I'll do it again. If he thinks that there's some advantage of having people in my corner, I'll take them all out.
That's interesting.
A fact. I don't need anyone. I choose to have these people here, but I don't need anyone in my corner. I choose to have people that I love and respect and want to go into battle with.
And like he was on stage earlier and he said, there's nothing personal. It's just business.
This is the sport we're in.
And I was watching his vlogs that he puts on YouTube, and there was one clip particularly that stuck out to me, and I asked him about it as well. It's a clip where he's sitting down and he's kind of going off to the camera and he says, Ian Garry held Neil Magny on the cage for 2 rounds with a busted leg and he couldn't finish him, and he thinks he's gonna knock me out. And then he says, there's no fucking way. And then he gets up and he starts cracking the pads. So
Neil Magny's soul. Here, look. There's his soul. You watched that fight, right?
I did.
Yeah, he was playing. Carlos Prates played with my son. That's what he did in that fight. Neil Magny's never been the same since I took his soul. It's right there. He's in the bottom of my hand. Good job. You beat Neil Magny on the feet. You knocked him out quick. Good job. You did what you're supposed to do. You did what the UFC wanted you to do. But you were meant to fight Jeff Neal. And the UFC said, oh, we need someone. They called me. And now, this Saturday night, you're f***ed.
Bringing the energy, man.
It's
Ian
the
Garry,
truth,
bringing the
though.
energy.
But
I
did
love
tell
it.
you this? I've been against the toughest opponents in the UFC. I've been against Jeff Neal. Hits like a truck. Stylistically, he's short, he's stocky, he's powerful. I've been against MVP. The most awkward fighter in the entire organization when it comes to distance management and speed and game plan. I fought Shavkat. I've agreed to fight Joaquin Buckley. I've been yes against the baddest men in our division. Carlos isn't close to those guys, in my opinion. He's a one-trick pony. He's got power. Good job. I've been hit by a lot of guys. Here's one. You pull up MVP's highlight reel and you pull up Carlos Prates' highlight reel. Whose is more impressive?
We talking more impressive or more views?
More impressive.
You put me on the spot here. I mean,
Many schools.
the man fractured a guy's skull. That's hard to argue with.
More than once.
Right.
And he does it with many weapons in many different ways. He's far more versatile in the way he finishes. Carlos has a left hand and a left knee that he relies on. Do you not think I know that coming? You not think I'm smart enough to know how to work my way around them? Let him be confident. Let him bring this energy, because he'll have fucking nothing to say come Saturday night when I knock him out.
I will play devil's advocate because I will say the way he puts people out is impressive. When he face planted the leech.
When he fights guys that aren't good at striking and he goes out and knocks them out, you look fucking good. Neil Magny can't kick snow off a rope. Do you know what I mean? I played with him for fucking 15 minutes because I wanted to. I had so much fun that night. That, to this day, is still my favourite fight. I had fun. I'm the type of fighter that wants to give no one excuses. So if I go out in first round and knock Carlos Prates out, what does he have? An excuse. Oh, I just got caught. Now, if I do it in the 20th minute and I dominate him for 20 minutes, what does he have? Oh, nothing. Well, he dominated me. So he goes home and he has to have that deep thought process where he just goes, Ian Machado Garry's just that much better than me. He's just better everywhere. That's my favourite type of finish.
So let's talk about the rest of the year then. We get through Saturday, right? There's a big fight in Montreal. Mm-hmm. You come out unscathed. UFC makes a phone call and says, hey, do you want to weigh in as the backup in Montreal? Ian Garry going to be there?
My flight's already booked.
Can we confirm this? Is this our...
Well, you want to confirm that my flight's already booked?
She says, I'll forward you an email. So you will 100% be in Montreal.
100%.
Wow. Okay. I love this energy you're bringing.
Dude, there ain't nothing stopping me. Ain't nothing stopping me. I know how good I am. I know what I'm going to do this Saturday night, and I'm going to be there, because whoever wins that belt on Saturday night, I'm next.
So, like 100% in your eyes, you get the win this weekend in impressive fashion. There's nobody else that should be the number one contender.
Unless Jack wins and Islam Makhachev wants to step in, I'll give all the respect in the world to him and let him go first.
What about Joaquin Buckley?
He beat Kobe, dude. He beat Kobe. He needs. I think what the UFC is gonna do is I'll be next to the belt after this, because no one gives a about Joaquin Buckley fighting for a title. They don't care. No one's watching. No one's tuning in. No one's buying pay-per-views. I think they'll do Buckley versus Brady for the number one contender, which makes a lot of sense, because I think both of them need one more win. Obviously, you've got Shavkat or whatever he's doing. He's off injured for a year because of someone kicked his leg repeatedly. Yeah, I can't remember what that is. But if Islam wants to come up, everyone should take a step back and let him go first. That's fair. But I believe Belal wins on Saturday, on May 10th. I believe he will win. I believe he'll dominate Jack. I think he's just better in everything, like at what he does, than Jack is. And I've seen Jack get ragdolled by people who aren't as good as Belal at what Belal does. So I think Belal mauls him. And then when you want to sell a pay-per-view and make a main event and put a main event of a pay-per-view, Belal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Garry for the welterweight world title is the biggest fight you can make in the division. No one gives a about Joaquin Buckley or Sean Brady.
I mean, I'm
not wrong.
Listen, Cat's got my tongue. Cat's got my tongue. You know what I mean? Like they are great fighters. I will give them that. They're great fighters. But
I'm not saying anything about their fighting. I'm just saying no one really cares.
When it comes down to promoting a fight and a guy that's going to give me a good interview.
We are in the entertainment business, right? The UFC is the biggest fight organization on the planet. They want to sell fights, get people's interest, and have superstars across the planet. Sean Brady ain't no superstar. Joaquin Buckley, no one cares about. Good fighters, very talented, but no one cares.
We're in the entertainment business. I can't argue with that. Not only from a journalist point of view, but from a fan point of view, I feel like that's been missing a little bit. I was having a conversation with one of the guys earlier. I said, there's been some sort of shift of the guys that used to come out and want to be fighters and promote a fight to the guys that are now just athletes and treating it like a professional athlete, which is fine. But I miss the guys that are going to want to make me spend my money and come to this fight.
When you look at the greatest of all time, George St. Pierre, for example, when he showed up in that octagon to fight, it was a fight. Like, you knew you were getting everything you did. Now, he wasn't the best at selling the fight, but he had that beautiful advantage of, doesn't matter, when I step into that fight, everybody knows what's coming. John Jones too, right? Both of them are considered the two GOATs, right? When John Jones get on the mic, not the best, but everybody knows when he shows up what's happening. There is a reason why Conor McGregor reached a different level of stardom. And it wasn't because his fights were better than everyone else's. It was because he sold the fight more. It's because he got people interested. He got people to want to see what was going to happen. He done it through beautiful storytelling. He done it through amazing comedic one-liners. And that's what's interesting. I sit at home some days and I watch old Muhammad Ali videos, and the way he spoke and the way he got people entertained, that's this X factor that too many people are missing. Joaquin Buckley barely speaks English, and Sean Brady looks like he's out of Lord of the Rings. So no one gives a about these guys. You put me in an octagon, I've got the whole of Ireland behind me. I've got Brazil. I've got fucking America in love with me and divided and hate with me because of other things. But at the end of the day, when I show up, I fight. I'm a fighter who fights the best in the world, and I want to prove that I'm the best in the world by beating these guys. Saturday night, Carlos Prates is going to get his ass handed to him, and I'm going straight to Montreal because that belt is inevitably being wrapped around my waist.
I was just about to ask you for a final message for Carlos Prates, but
Well,
you took my job for me.
I'm one step ahead, just like I will be Saturday night.
Ian Machado Garry. No, we're going to stand up. Come on, bro. Let's bring it in here, bro.
It's just what we do. Look, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I'm going to be the welterweight GOAT, right? I want to win that belt. I want to fight 6 times in 1 year, every 2 months. Give me the next best guy. Give me the next best guy. I'm going to change this welterweight division, and I'm going to make it active. I'm going to make it exciting, and there's a whole new pot of talent coming up that I'm excited to face. Enjoy Saturday night, folks.
We out of here.